Alright. So, we got a ban list, but it's technically not our ban list, in quotes yet. Holy crap, I got a lot to say about this. So, I think a lot of people's initial thoughts when they first saw the Japanese ban list, and they were just kind of like, wait, what, that's it? But I think that we're starting to hit an age in Vanguard where we get to a point where we start to have our own exclusive ban list, at least according to the official tweet, and other sources, pretty much saying the exact same thing. And I am hoping and I am praying that they hit the obvious stuff that needs to be hit for both standard, actually not standard, V Premium and Premium in particular, because these hits initially, not too bad. These hits aren't terrible. I'm not even capping. I think these hits are pretty solid so far. Hamiel has just been outright banned. The Melody card that was problematic is limited to 1. And then they decided to change this with golds where Percival is limited to 1, but then they unchoice restricted it with Gurkit as well. So I think that was a pretty solid hit. I think in general, Hamiel needed to go. Mostly because Angel Feather with that is just dumb. And you really can't, because Different Fight brought up the point, you really can't hit just the one Hamiel, put it to 1. You have to outright ban it because it's so easy to just get it back. Even if you have to waste extra counterblast to get her out. Like, it's basically a Columbard into pretty much anything situation. So, I think that was necessary. I have no clue for Melody whatsoever how much that impacts it. I imagine, though, it probably kills the deck considering that a lot of people have been complaining about it, and, that's good. And then we have, obviously, again, Percival with Gurgit. The way how they changed it, I think it's good. It means that, Spectral Duke can't go ahead and abuse the crap out of it. However, I will say, this is all subject to change. In many ways, this is very similar to the TCG/OCG, the difference in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I get the feeling that they're doing the exact same thing for Vanguard because they realize, crap, we can't just go ahead and hit stuff that nobody's giving a dang in Japan for, but everyone in English is doing it, complaining about it, and then vice versa. I understand why they're doing this. I just really freaking wish that we get the ban list sooner rather than later. I really, I could wake up tomorrow and have the ban list, and then I'm going to have to sit there and be like, fuck, I gotta actually talk about this, But, I think this is definitely a step in the right direction. But since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and throw down my quick predictions for what they're going to hit for the rest of V. I think they're going to hit the Prism Grade 1 and 2, limit both of them to 1. That's pretty self-explanatory. Luard, I think, also would need to go. So they would probably hit, probably Choice Restrict, Karen, and Abyssal Owl. Just so that way you can't keep indefinitely getting all your crap back without losing something in value. Honestly, just the fact that Luar can keep recycling the drag drivers is absolutely dumb like that. So I think that would also be something that would need to get hit. There's probably a few more that I'm thinking off the top of my head, but exclusively for Premium, I think the only major thing that they really need to do is 2 things. Possibly 3 depending. First, you outright ban Ginny from Nightmare Doll. This card is a problem because it sets up the entire combo, or alternatively what they can do is sit there and choice restrict that with V-Series Nightmare Doll Alice, so that way you can't go ahead and abuse the crap out of it. I think that would be more reasonable. I would also argue that if you're going to do that, you should also hit the Leslie as well. Because knowing Pelmu, they could release a card in the next couple sets or whenever and break the card all over again. And let's just avoid that altogether and just choice restrict all three again. And I realize, Harry had a similar treatment. And I think for that reason alone, I think it's possible that they would do that. Next up, we have Stunverse. Stunverse to 1, maybe to 0, but I honestly think 1 is pretty justified at that point. Mostly because it's very much in a very similar vein to Morfessa, where dealing with one Stunverse is fine. Usually most decks can play around that. But then you have to deal with the second, and possibly the third if the game goes to that point, and it becomes a problem. Really the biggest issue for me personally, as somebody who plays Shadow Paladin, is that not only does it affect your rears, not only does it affect your drop, but it also hurts your hand. So this is like if you automatically got 5 locked rear guards on the board and just said Unga Bunga, you're dead. Like, pretty much, that's my take on Stunverse. Like, it needs to go to 1 or get banned. I don't care which at that point, as long as I only have to worry about it somewhat or completely never. It doesn't matter which. And then finally, the one that I think a lot of people are probably going to be sleeping on, but will become a major meta contender, will be Morfessa. I think much of the same way that you're going to hit Stunverse, you also have to hit Drag Principle Morfessa at the same time. Especially with, the premium collection right around the corner. If they don't do it this particular ban list, they will most definitely do it in the next one. Mostly because Morfessa is very similarly to how Stunverse works, where it sits there, you set up, and it's very easy to set up in comparison to when this card was first released back in 2019. And so pretty much you have way more options to get that initial setup to meet Ritual 10. So I think for that reason alone, it kind of needs to get hit, limited to 1, so that way, a lot of other decks, like, you have to commit that turn and pray that it's enough, or no, I could see them doing it, if not this ban list, they'll do it in the next one. But I think another thing too is that I don't see them hitting Overdress Standard right now. I do not see it. I know they recently announced that they're going to be calling it Will Dress, which is stupid as hell. But whatever. Name changing pretty much midway through an era. Whatever. Don't matter. That being said, though, I do think that Standard is in a good space. And it honestly is in a good place right now. I do not see it getting hit. I mean, honestly, I don't see any of the stuff getting hit. But if they're going to hit something, I don't even know what they could hit realistically. Because, yeah, I feel like the meta is actually somewhat balanced for the most part. Obviously, you're going to have tier 1 decks, but I think there are a lot of tier 1 decks. You're going to have, obviously, the big 2 new contenders coming out of this set, being the Magnolia and the Seraph Purelight. But then also you have, still Bruce, Bastion, and Basagra in particular, still, contending just as well, I think. And so, again, I think the meta is healthy enough to a point where it doesn't need a ban list right this second. Who knows? Maybe with set 5 they kind of have to, but I don't see it personally. But you guys are free to tell me if I'm wrong in the comments section. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. I just wanted to do a quick little thing. No editing, nothing really. I just wanted to get it out there, get my voice, get my opinions out before the inevitable ban list and when I start to cry when they hopefully don't hit Morfessa completely. But yeah, I'm going to get about. Thank you guys for checking out the video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.